Hello everyone, welcome to this new Life Glider video. In today's video it's going to be a bit of a feedback research style video to help innovate and enhance the Life Glider for any future revisions that may be carried out by the company, or any further new additions. So this is primarily for research purposes only, because someone who works very closely with the Life Glider team is subscribed to my YouTube channel, so this is primarily for them, but it might help to give you some insight on some aspects of the Life Glider to always keep in mind whilst you're utilizing the piece of equipment. So the first thing I just want to highlight is a slight fault within the brake mechanism, which is sometimes, this has happened to me maybe once or twice now, but when I put the brake in the active position, for some reason it still feels like it's in the brake mode, and it seems like I'm dragging the Life Glider along even though the brake is in the active mode. So that is very confusing. I have had family members look at the issue and they've resolved it in the past, but it keeps on happening, but not like constant. It's more like as and when sort of situation. You know, you won't know when that issue will happen. You know, sometimes you put a brake on and then you know sometimes you put it back in the active mode and it's fine. Sometimes you put the brake on and put it in the active mode, but the brake what's the word? The brake mobility is still present, which is somewhat confusing and a bit surprising, but hasn't hindered my walking capabilities within the glider, unlike the first time where I couldn't barely move, unfortunately. Something else as well that my wife pointed out is the durability of the Life Glider is very is a bit unsure, in the sense of it feels like it's going to break even though it feels perfectly fine, and it feels a bit lightweight in the sense of from the elements. And this is something that I've noticed when I walk along and there's like a giant rainstorm with some winds and storms. The glider basically gets carried, but it gets propelled like super duper fast. And in the past I've had to have my family or my wife by the side of me at all times, because of safety purposes. There's a story where I was walking out of a hotel after utilizing the facility and the on-site cafe, and I was walking down towards Mum's car, and all of a sudden my legs started to pick up some speed on their own, and it was because of the elements and the wind currents pushing me severely, like towards a road. And luckily, my mum basically ran into action to try and change the trajectory towards her car by grabbing hold of the handlebar and somewhat pulling me towards the car, but maintaining her hand on the handlebar. So yeah, if there's a way that we could sort that out, then that'd be very fantastic. Before I continue on, I must stress that this isn't me taking the mickey or me putting down the Life Letter team. This is some advice that they could utilize for a future model or for a future revision. I'm not putting down the team in any way, shape, or form, and I'm also taking into account the financial side of this revision if it does happen. So I'm not taking the mickey, like I've said. I've also not said to them, please spend X, Y, Z, because that's not up to me, and that's primarily up to them. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. So another thing that I've also noticed as well, and my wife would also agree, is the belt when it's unfastened and when I feel confident to walk without it within my household. It does a lot of clanking because of the metal component within the belt, and it would cause my wife to be really annoyed because I tend to walk at night. I'm going to use the restroom and stuff like that, and all my wife and I could hear whilst myself was walking is the clanking from the belt, and I would wake my wife up and keep her awake, and she'd be on her phone. So that tells me I'm upset her. So I have found a workaround, which is to put it in my side bag, but maybe sometimes situations or circumstances can't accommodate that little very easy workaround, and because the noise is basically non-existent within the bag when the belt is within the bag. Another thing as well I would also say is the Life Glider is fantastic. It is brilliant, and it somewhat does what the main priority of the walking frame is set out to achieve, but better. It has helped me with my confidence, and it has allowed me to walk independently and support my wife, and also experience life in a whole new way. It's fantastic. Some of the stuff I've mentioned is very constructive, not basically negative. It's very constructive. But it all comes down to the financial aspects of is it possible or feasible to achieve this request. But yeah, even though there are some negatives, the Life Letter is still fantastic, and it is still fairly new within the United Kingdom. it's been on the market now, I think, for about 5 years, or it's been taken from America over here for 5 years. Most of the people I've been talking to are very surprised that the LifeLighter exists, and most of them, due to obviously the well known of the LifeLighter, they don't seem to understand what it is, and that's not primarily their fault, because it's still a very fairly brand new thing for people in the UK. And honestly, I think it's a very fantastic piece of equipment, and all I want and all I would like to see is innovation and basically just trying to innovate and to see how far this very simple but very, 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 very accessible piece of equipment can grow and evolve moving forward along the LifeLighter's lifespan. And I really want to see this piece of equipment thrive within different territories, not just America, but the UK and all of these other places around the world. Because I think the LifeLighter deserves to have multiple chances to innovate and to enhance someone's life, to reach their best potential. Because this piece of equipment has changed my life and allowed me to experience independent living, hands-free and innovatively as well, because it has changed my life, and a simple concept has made a very fantastic world of difference. So please don't take my constructive feedback as negativity. Please take it as a bit of an insight on what to keep in mind whilst using the LifeLighter full time, because that's what I use it for, is full time. And I really hope that my subscriber who is working with the LifeLighter team really appreciates this, and thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for future videos. Thank you.